Hey guys, my name is Nick and welcome back to another YouTube video. As you may know, as I talk about it in a lot of my videos, me and my co-founder Friedrich are starting a brand called New Vision, which is basically going to be trying to help young creatives turn their passion into a career, just as we're trying to do. And one of the ways we're going to do that is we're starting a podcast where we interview people who have already done it and who are successful, asking them for advice, and we're going to be providing a ton of content for you guys. So make sure to go subscribe to the channel, the link will be in the description along with the full podcast, and also follow the Instagram if you haven't already, NWVSN. So in this episode I interviewed Jed Brophy, who's a big actor out in New Zealand in big films such as The Hobbit and King Kong, just asking him about how he got into acting and how he got to a point in his career where he's in all these big movies, etc. And also genuinely getting to know about his new film. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the highlights. With going from big films to doing Blue Moon and things like that, do you prefer the huge creative control you have when you're doing lower budget films with less crew and to doing the larger feature films?
Like they're kind of the same beast, but they're different. With a big film, with a studio film, you're a small part of a big puzzle. And there are days when it feels like that. I do remember on the set of The Hobbit, and I hope Martin Freeman doesn't mind me saying this, where he said, "Wow, I now know what a featured extra is," because we kind of felt like the camera was more important on that particular day, but all of us were just walking through Mirkwood. We weren't really doing any acting, we were just kind of walking in our costumes. And that tends to happen on a big film, where sometimes you feel like you get a bit lost. Having said that, there's nothing cooler than being in something that has that broad fan base, because there's so much genuine goodwill from the fans. It can't help but make you feel good about what you do. But you're right, you do have a lot more creative control, especially in terms of the way that you want to develop your character. It's very hard on a big film where you've got a studio sort of defining the look of things. You've got a director that's got an overview, but he's also very conscious of the fact that the studio has their own opinions. There's a lot of A-listers, so there's a lot of ego. And it's very tricky to try and find your place within the hierarchy of when you can ask the question, when you can push for more lines, for instance, where you can make decisions about where your character goes. Something like Blue Moon, which is a really kind of small and insular thing, it comes down to the performance. That's what sells the film. The performance comes very, very, very important. And so you put a lot more into it, and you get, we did 11-minute takes. You never get to do that on a big film. You just don't have things fall apart when you've got 3 cameras working on 3D. And so it becomes a lot more shooting out of context, shooting out of order, shooting little bits. On a big film like that, you'd shoot 2 minutes a day. On a big film like Lord of the Rings, you'd shoot 2 minutes of completed footage or usable footage a day. You might spend $400,000 doing that. On our film, we managed to shoot, in 85 minutes, we managed to shoot 20 minutes of usable footage a day. So that's the difference. Yeah. You just don't have the clutter. On a big film, you have 9 people dressing all the dwarves. You have, 20 to 30 camera people with all those cameras. You've got all the lighting people, and so everything slows down. If each one of those people takes 30 seconds longer than normal, you're adding a lot of hours to your day.
Thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. The full podcast is down in the description, so I definitely recommend you check that out and subscribe to the channel. If you're new to this channel, make sure to hit subscribe, turn bell notifications on so you don't miss anything. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.